Well, hello. Okay. All right.
Hello, and welcome to the Speakeasy Comedy Show, Speakeasy Podcast, that's what I almost said. But that is a weekly podcast that I do run. Please check it out. It's on YouTube, and then I also post my segments on Instagram. Anywho, hello. My name's Tara. I'm going to be the host of the show tonight, and I got a couple announcements, you guys. First of all, I have an amazing lineup today on the Speakeasy Show. We have Ruth Coyote, who's returning, Matt Yaworski, never been here before, never seen him, but we're going to see him today. Super excited. Mr. Joel Timms, Braden Leahy, and Macey Taylor. Yeah, so awesome lineup. Also, I do have a GoFundMe, so if you guys feel like I should be paying these wonderful folks for their time today, please visit my Instagram page and donate generously. $5, $5 million, whatever you can afford, you know? So yeah, you guys, welcome to the show. My name's Tara. I already said that. Oh yeah, another announcement. I'm going to be running a weekly open mic comedy show at Koi, which is in the Beltline of Calgary. Yes! Woo! We're getting back to it, you guys. We're getting back to live stand-up comedy. So every Wednesday at Koi, formerly known as Cafe Koi, it's going to be called Fishbowl Comedy. Like, fishbowl. That's, sorry. And 7:30 p.m. every Wednesday starting in August. So hopefully we'll see you there. Come out if you want to start doing live comedy again in the city. Yeah. So those are all the announcements. You guys, it's June. This is the 13th month that I've been running this show, and I feel like we need more months. We need to add more months to the calendar, because there's not enough for, to help raise awareness for all the ways that humanity has just, fucked each other over in the past. Asian people had to piggyback on, Women's Month in March, which, I get it. Okay, I'm one of them. And built different. I gotta stop making that joke. And then Indigenous folks are just clumping in with the gays this month. Everyone's standing around looking at each other like, how's it going, you know? So there's not enough months, you know? There's only 12 months in an Earth year. I think if we just treated all of these issues with, daily importance, then we'd be covered 365. I don't know anyone who has more than 365 problems. Not even JC. JC? Jay-Z. Not even JC. I got 365 problems, but trans rights ain't one. I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have done it. I should have just moved on. Yeah. Who counts to 12? Children don't even do that. In hide and go seek, you want to know why? 'Cause it's stupid, okay? It's something that we learned and we can unlearn it. Just like transphobia and racism, am I right? Yeah. Yeah, man, 12 months, it's not enough. We could always move some of the issues to a different planet. We could move Pride to Uranus, which it's a hacky joke. I shouldn't have done it. But the year is longer there, guys. There's more months. It's science. Get on board. So that's that joke. Yeah. You're not always going to like what you hear at the Speakeasy Comedy Show, but the point is you got to try and unite multiple camps of thought so you can make people who never thought they'd snicker together, or at least go like this through their nose. That's not my joke, but I like it. Bo Burnham. Check out his new Netflix special. I'll pump him up on this show, for sure. Bo Burnham. Father's Day, you guys. We got any fathers in the audience?
Woo! I hope not.
Yeah?
None that I know about.
Joel Timms! What is good, Joel Timms? How did you celebrate, man? What did your kids get you?
Fitbit that I bought myself.
Nice. Cool. And the wife, did you get a BJ?
No.
From your kids? No?
Oh.
No.
Oh, that's weird. Why'd you say it? I don't even know why I said it. That joke didn't work out the way I thought it was going to. I just wanted to make it seem like... Anyways, so... your kids gave you oral sex. But, no, that's cool, man. You know what? Joel Timms is in the house, and just for the record, he is the most Latin person that I know. He's so Latin, he employs me sometimes to cut grass with him. That's how Latin he is. And you know what? At the Speakeasy Comedy Show, we're open-minded. You can identify as any sex, race, Latino if you want to. I'll just move on from that, though. But yeah, so happy Father's Day, Joel.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Oh, the Christmas decorations are falling down. Who do we got here? Crooked Cut, YYCMBs, Sarah Lyon, Michio Kaku, Dane, Andy, JD Lassard. Thanks for joining, guys. Nice to see you. We've got 6 people watching. Wow, that's almost like a real open mic. It's actually better than some open mics I've been to, damn. Yeah, man, so Father's Day. It was weird, right? Father's Day and my mother's birthday actually fell on the same day this year, which usually that wouldn't be a problem, right? But those two haven't like stood in a room together without lawyers present like since I was 10. So I get kind of exhausted being mad for more than like a couple days. Imagine holding a grudge for like 20 years, you know? Yeah, that's like 2 Jovian cycles. Just a callback to my Uranus joke earlier. Jupiter takes 12 Earth years to go around the sun, so they also count to 12 on Jupiter, so like change it, you know? Yeah.
Science.
That's science, you guys. Yeah, you know, my parents, they're both really sensitive people. My dad especially. I know that it really matters to him that I reach out and make sure he feels special on his special day. The thing is, he kind of like, he wants you to work for it a little bit, you know? Like he plays hard to get. He doesn't have social media, and he's changed his phone number 2 times without telling me. So, yeah. Just, Dad, if you keep ignoring me, it makes me want you more. I wish Ryan Butterfield was here. Yeah. You know, I think the relationship with my dad, it's like the worst breakup I've ever had to get over, you know, because I constantly feel like I should call him, but then I also have to deal with the rejection that it might just be like another pizza place. So, oh, that's sad. That's too sad. Should have told that earlier. Okay. Yeah. Keep ignoring me, it makes me want you more. Textbook daddy issues, you know? But, with my mom, she's like, you know, I think it's important that you have a relationship with your dad and everything, but just so you know, I have all the court documents and all the conversations and all the affidavits downstairs saved, and I'm like, Mom, if there's anything that you and Dad have in common, it's your commitment to things. So committed. Maybe they'll get back together, you know? So much in common. Happy Father's Day. Happy birthday. Might still get back together. I mean, it is June, so it's wedding season. Yeah, it's weird, you know? All the ladies want a ring in June, but like all the dudes want it in February. Tom Brady, you know? So, doesn't make sense. But I think there are some similarities because, you know, everyone in the audience is kind of like fake applauding for you anyways, especially these days. I don't know if they're allowing people back in the stadiums yet. There's always a tight end on one side, you know, the mother of the groom. I'm screwing this up. The mother of the groom, she's a real tight end. Lighten up, lady, you're a party pooper, yeah. Football lingo. And then if everything doesn't end up working out, you know, there's no quarterback, no, she's gonna want half, okay? Or in my mom's case, she's gonna take it all. I get why you don't answer my phone calls, Dad. So, I look and sound exactly like her. But, I don't know. I'm not saying that I'm not happy to be here, but no one asked you to not come on my mom's back, you know? Which is not weird to say, because then she'd just be some lady. Oh my God, you guys, this is the Speakeasy Comedy Show, and you know what? You're not always going to like what you hear here, but hopefully it made you go out of your nose. So we're going to bring your very first comedian up of the day. Her name is Ruth Coyote. Let's bring her up. Round of applause.
All right, labias and genitals. Welcome to my first 5 minutes of comedy in a physically distant minute. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a type 5 because the only type 5 I have are all my office pants. So Ruth Coyote, it is a stage name. I'm not claiming any indigenous heritage. I'm not one of these pretendians. If you've been following in the news, Canada has like a real problem with pretendians right now. I started comedy a while ago, and but I only got serious just before the pandemic started, and I wanted like an alter ego, like because I have a government job and I don't want to lose it. I'm a bit of a raconteur, emphasis on cunt. It's if you don't know what raconteur means, it means storyteller. And as a female comedian, I do tell a lot of stories about the vagina. So people never estimate me correctly. For example, my high school superlative was most likely to become a rapper. Is that kind of true? Another thing people get wrong about me is when they tell them I'm depressed, they tell me they don't believe me. They're like, how could somebody with a smile like that be depressed? You guys want to have a good look? There you go. You want to have a good. I know. A lot of people ask me what I do to keep these teeth so white, and I don't really do anything. It's just my privilege. My privilege. I only just started using an electric toothbrush recently, and it turns out you're supposed to brush your teeth longer than it takes me to count. Okay, where am I with this? Oh yeah, okay. One time, me and my friend, we went to go have ice cream, and we're eating ice cream, and all of a sudden, I turned to her, and she's looking at me like, ugh. And I'm like, what? She's like, only you would bite your ice cream. Because my teeth. Anyway, okay. And then the only thing I wrote after that was, I think all dentists are really sexual. Next time you go to the dentist, like, God, you're going to get the creeps, I think. Okay. I recently signed a new lease for my apartment,
Right.
and my real life initials are CC, which when you have to do initials, it's just a butt. So I spend about 10 minutes drawing tiny butts all over this lease. And the little things spark joy. Another thing that sparked a lot of joy for me lately is I bought a new vacuum. And to kind of set the stage, I got to tell you that for the longest time, me and the word vacuum just did not get along. Every time I go to spell it, it'd always be a big mess. I'd handwrite it, and I couldn't get the letters right because the last 4 letters are just ready to party. But finally, I had an epiphany and figured out that I could use a mind trick to kind of settle myself. And I always knew vacuum, you see things like vacuum seal, vacuum lock, VACU, and then the rest of the word, how do you spell it? And so vacuum. Anyway, never had a problem since. And so so I was enjoying my new vacuum recently. And I did the entranceway, and with all the rocks, it was so fucking crispy.
Oh, yeah.
It was the crispiest vacuuming of my life. Spark and joy. And I had a little joy I was gonna spark for myself, but it got taken away from me. I'll tell you about it. How long have I been on?
So far, almost 5 minutes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
awesome.
Okay. So I my mom came to visit and she stayed with me, and I had to buy a bunch of towels because I didn't have enough. And so I bought a bunch of towels, and they were like really dark colors and really light colors. And then I was doing the laundry, washing the towels, and I had the lint screen all perfectly set up with like all the light lint went in first, and then I was doing all the dark lint. And then my mom fucking scooped me. She went in there and she peeled the lint screen.
No.
And it was like a 2-tone new towel lint screen. It's brutal. Brutal. So that's as much as we get along, but you know.
But that's.
But yeah, we'll do that to each other. Like sometimes we'll just steal the lint. Here's a fun joke. There's a woman in my hometown in Jasper. She owns a yoga studio, and it's also a cannabis store. And she also ran for government, so I've been calling her the ombudsman. Yeah. Word jokes are shit, right?
So good.
Okay, what else do I have? Oh, this one is just, I get this reoccurring dream, and I had it just before the pandemic started. And the dream is, I'm taking off my pants, and then suddenly I feel nipples on my ass cheeks. And I look, and there's like tits on my ass. Anyway, it's always a bad sign, so I really should have watched out for that one. I think that's all I wrote for jokes. I'm gonna pass it along to my good friend, Tara.
Or pass it on to Mr. Matt Yaworski.
Oh, okay. Let's bring up our good pal, Matt Yaworski.
Oh boy, thank you.
Nicely done.
Thank you. Oh boy, we got this. I've never been in front of a ring light before. This is new.
You look great.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think I did pretty well over this last lockdown. I actually trimmed down. I actually lost 100 pounds. Yeah, thanks. So it feels pretty good. The part I hate about it, though, is now people ask me, about my weight loss journey. I really hate that people call it a journey, because a journey, like, that tells me it should have been hard. For me, it was, hey, don't eat 4 to 5 sausage and eggers before you work a 10-hour day desk job. I wasn't crossing a desert for biblical reasons, I was literally just not eating McDonald's for 95% of my meals. That's it. That's all. Nothing else. My favorite part, though, is I don't have to shop at big and tall stores anymore, And I feel like everyone that shops at a big and tall store, they do it without knowing if they're the big or the tall. Like it's one or the other, you're not both. And I'm 6'1", that's a subtle brag. But I didn't realize when I was buying 3XL shirts that I wasn't doing it for the sleeve length. Like, I'm not an NBA player. I'm very much not an NBA player. There's only 3 reasons you shop at a big and tall store. You're a professional athlete, and normal clothes make it look like you shop at Baby Gap. 2, you're fat. Or 3, you're a fat professional athlete. There's 3 very clear divisions, and you'd think that when I got winded going up a flight of stairs, I would have realized where I fell. That's just sad. Yeah. But hey, let's get into what I'm really here to talk about, my childhood. So, yeah, it was hard growing up, being the youngest sibling in my family, especially when everyone knows you were an accident except you. Like, everyone knows except you until someone points it out, and it's normally like Tanner in your 4th grade class that calls you a crotch botch, and then you have to spend an evening talking to your mom about how a certain lack of rubbers after a Dwight Yoakam concert in Vegas produced you?
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a true story for you. There's a little nugget. That's my origin story right there. That's good. Oh yeah. There's no trauma behind that. Yeah. But yeah, I should have realized I was an accident. My parents had a kid in 91, a kid in 92, and then me 5 years later in 97. And I don't think my parents laid out their life plan and they went, okay, we're going to have 3 kids. We're going to have 2 right now. And they're going to grow up together. They're going to go to the same schools. They're going to play on the same sports teams. And then we're going to have one 5 years later. And he can go fuck himself. Even like growing up, I had to go through 5 years of disposable camera photos to even see I existed. You know? 5 years, albums upon albums, and I'm like, nope, not here, not here, not here, not here. And then I finally show up, and even when I show up, both of my brothers are redheads, and I'm not. So they're color coordinated in every photo, and we're not even wearing matching outfits. When I was 6, my brothers and I would play a game. We used to call it rodeo, where I would be a bull, and my brothers, they'd try and not get hit by the bull. Yeah, it was really fun. It's just it got us into trouble when I played the game inside the house. I saw my brother standing in the kitchen with his back to me, thought it would be a good time to play the game. So I called out his name, put my head down and charged at him. And what I failed to realize is that as he turned around, he was holding a knife, and I went, pop, right onto the blade.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you guys have that reaction, but like, you know the ending of the story, I'm here. So like, I don't fucking matter. Like, it's okay. The story ends good. I'm here. Yeah, that's good. We got to the hospital, and the doctor, he walked right up to my mom, and we were farm kids, so we were regulars there. He goes right up, Ramona, which kid, with what, and where? And my mom goes, Josh, in the kitchen with a knife. Like, our lives are just a twisted game of Clue. You know, I'm just lucky Reverend Green didn't show me his pipe in the cellar. But this happened 2 days before we were going on our first family trip, and we were going to Disneyland. So, you know, everything was booked, everything was paid for. No amount of mental, physical trauma to, you know, the accidental son was going to stop my dad from getting on that flight. So, you know, I still don't understand how I went from getting stabbed in the head to the happiest place on earth in 2 days. But I do work through it with a therapist. And she says that I need to start taking responsibility for my actions, you know, stop telling people that my brother stabbed me because he wasn't a willing participant. You know, and like, I gotta stop telling people that my girlfriend got herself pregnant on me. Like, that's apparently just not applicable. But when we got to the parks, I had to wear something on my head to protect the wound. So my parents had me wear a nude-colored swim cap, walking around the park. Let me tell you, it got us on rides so quickly. Me and that cap were a 5-person Disneyland Fast Pass. I'm not saying my parents exploited anything, you know, but I'm also not saying that they didn't have me wear a flesh-colored skin cap on rides suspiciously absent of water. You know? I think for sure the highlight of that trip, though, like number 1, 100%, not even a question, was when we were skating with the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. And it just felt like the entire team went out of their way to make it the best day of my life. Because I was dying of cancer.
I see. Okay.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'll spell it out. It's good. No, well, it's a work in progress. We'll work on that one. That's fair. Yeah, I guess while we're unpacking my childhood, we should probably touch on the few weeks when I was 8, when my mom called me a fudge packer, repeatedly. You know, it wasn't her fault. She didn't know what it meant, you know? She didn't know she was calling her 8-year-old son, you know, homosexual anal sex addict, you know? Like, that's not what she thought. She just thought it was because, like, I like packing my cheeks with chocolate, you know? Now that I say that out loud, I probably could have worded that better, but we're going to go with it now. Both my brothers, though, both of them, they knew what it meant. Didn't feel like correcting her. It took my aunt hearing my mom ask if I wanted to pack fudge for dessert at Christmas dinner at my grandma's house for my mom to realize that something was wrong with that. I don't have an ending for that. It's honestly, I just felt like I needed to share it. So we'll work on that. Yeah. I guess one other thing, since I moved out of my parents' house. My mom, thanks, dude. I appreciate that. Wow. Since I moved out, my mom, tries to stay involved in my life. Which, I mean, it's all right, I guess. But it just means I get a lot of pictures of raw meat.
Oh, jeez.
There's never a caption. There's no context. It's just a photo of meat. I wouldn't have an issue with it, if she could send them at a reasonable time. But she's just, just using chicken thighs as you up texts. So, yeah, it's pretty messed up that that's what I relate that to. But hey, you win some, you lose some. Now I have to talk to a stranger every 2 weeks and tell her how I feel when I get drive-by beefed by my mom. So, yeah, and now I understand how women feel when they get unsolicited dick pics. It's just a different type of meat.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. My name is Matthew Yaworski.
Woo! All right, dude. Wow. I'll just,
Yeah, there we go.
Thank you. Oh my God. Yeah. Unsolicited meat pics from your mom. That's a new subject on the Speakeasy Comedy Show, and I'm so glad that you were here to talk about that, Matt. What else did you have here? I like that, Matt, in your weight loss journey, sorry to call it that.
That's all good.
You gained the self-awareness to know that if you eat all the food, then it just blows out of your ass later. Yeah. It's called your GI tract. Yeah.
Science again.
Again, so many applicable. It's just some people don't know that. They're just they don't realize. Mostly, it's just dates that I have. Guys come over for dinner and then they just shit in my bathroom right after. I'm like, is this the first meal you ate today? Take better care of yourself. You're ravenous, and you're ruining my toilet. I think it's funny that you're the youngest sibling accident. My youngest brother, Adam, he was kind of an oopsie 3 years after me, the love child. Yeah, I'm the reason why my parents hate each other. What's up? Should have come on her back. I gotta stop saying that. If my mom's watching this, she's gonna hate it. So my youngest brother, my two older brothers used to do practice wrestling moves on him, and they had different ones. They put his legs behind his head. They call it the I can't breathe. His dick didn't really matter yet because he was still a baby. So they would just gas pedal him, and they're like, "This is the birth controller." And then I just like how they could have had one, and they could have called it the crotch botch. So many wrestling moves could have been done to my little brother. Your poor dick, Adam. I hope your dick's okay. No, I don't. I don't want to think about your dick. You're my brother. And the pretending to have cancer, dude. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. I can't talk about my mom anymore on this show. She'll get too mad. Court. Okay, so not knowing what words mean. This is the last thing. So I didn't know what the word pussy meant when I was growing up because I grew up in Amaranth, which is a small township outside of Orangeville, which is part of rural Ontario. I'm not thinking about my brother's dick. And so I didn't, there was stuff that would grow in the ditch called pussy willows. And then I remember calling my brother's friend Greg a pussy one day because I just thought it meant that you were soft and I'd put it against my face. Anyways, that's just a fun fact. So we're going to just move things right along, you guys. One more time, a round of applause for Matt Yaworski. Thank you so much for being on the show, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, first timers. I love that. We're going to move right along to the very Latin, very handsome dad in the audience, and his name is Mr. Joel Timms.
Joel Timms. Give
it up. Joel Timms.
I couldn't remember if it was me next or Macey, so.
It's you.
Wow. Yeah, now I'm up
Is he
here.
gonna sit?
I'm gonna sit.
Oh, this is new.
This is.
Utilize.
Oh, We got five people in here. So first of all, shout out to Ruth Coyote. I loved you in How I Met Your Mother.
Oh my god.
You do look like that.
I get that all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, Tara, I think if you want your dad to text you back, you just gotta start sending her some meat pics. That's probably the best thing for that. And I don't know if you guys knew, but Matthew's middle name is actually Dwight, for Dwight Yoakam or whoever. What was the concert?
It was, my name almost was Dwight.
No, it is.
No,
It's
it's
your
not,
stage name.
But my first name was almost Dwight.
You're ruining the bit.
Sorry.
Matthew just spent like 10 minutes talking about his childhood. I wish I could do that. I don't remember my childhood at all. Basically anything before 3rd grade is just a blur. And I've come to the conclusion it's one of two things. Either I was molested and my brain won't let me remember these things,
Yes.
or I was cloned. I'm a clone. And I just hope that I'm not the clone of somebody that was molested, because I don't need that kind of baggage to start my clone life off, you know? It's kind of rough. But, you know, mental health, it's important. I read today that 75% of suicides are actually men, which is really driving home the whole toxic masculinity point, because apparently we can't even live with ourselves. I thought you guys would laugh at that, but it's okay, I'm a man. Anyway, I just want to apologize to anybody that's committed suicide who is offended by that. So moving on, my kid asked me the other day, he's like, how do you say I can't hear you in sign language? And I really thought about that. Like, obviously I don't speak sign language, but I don't think that exists in sign language. Like, I don't think that you can make a sentence of I can't hear you, because when has a deaf person ever told another deaf person in sign language, I can't hear you? Like, that's kind of implied. Like, they already know. I think the way that you say I can't hear you in sign language is you just say like hello, like however they do it. Yeah. Right? And I have a deaf friend. I didn't want to be insensitive about that joke, at least. And I asked my deaf friend, you know, if he thought that was funny or if, you know, if that was offensive, and he just kept signing something to me. I think he was trying to say he couldn't hear me. I'm just kidding, that doesn't exist. But no, I sent him a message, and he said that it's not offensive because deaf people don't get humor. His words, not mine. So, yeah, but I also got to thinking, like, can you imagine being deaf and living in Italy? And you just got people coming up to you doing this all the time? And I had to ask my deaf friend, I was like, what does this mean? And he said, it means butt. So you got, like, you're there deaf, and you just have people, and all that they can understand is but what? Right? Holy.
Happy Father's Day, Joel.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Father's Day. It was all right. You know, it was good. I got to spend some time with my family. My wife and I, we dressed up as dads, and we had, as a whole family, we decided we were going to do it, and then we were the only ones that did it, so we had to go home and get changed. It's just a sad, true story. Dad life. But you guys remember, like, a couple months ago when there were a lot of, like, attacks on women in the city?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, first of all, what happened to those? Like, did they catch these people? I don't know. Anyway.
It was trending for like a minute.
Yeah, it was trending a little while, but I came, when that was going on, I came up with a solution for how these women can protect themselves. And before you ask, it's not that the men stop attacking them, because I don't know if that's going to happen. But you know when you're in the woods and you want to be faster than at least one of your friends? Women can apply that same logic when they go out at night. You just want to make sure that one of your friends is prettier than you.
Oh, dude.
I notice that it's only the men groaning here, okay? Hopefully the 3 women here don't think that they're going to get attacked.
It's because we already do that. You're telling us something we already know.
Okay, well, yeah. And you know, like while that friend is getting attacked of yours, you can just think about all the times that they got asked out that you didn't, when you were sitting at dinner together and a guy came in. You know, they're getting theirs, right? Just.
Okay.
Oh my god.
They told me this was a safe space. Yeah, so stay safe out there, ladies.
Thanks, Joe.
Right. So I was at a show last November, and I was feeling really tired, and I went to the bar and I asked for a Red Bull. And this other comic just came up to me, and he was like, hey, don't get a Red Bull. If you're feeling tired, I know what you need. And I was like, dude, I don't want cocaine. And he's like, no, you need ice water. And I was like, what, you want to like splash it in my face? He's like, no, you drink it. And I was like, that's not going to be better. He's like, no, it's way more refreshing. My life coach told me. I didn't want to go into the science of why that doesn't make sense, but what really caught me off guard was like, he has a life coach. Like I know we're both at an open mic, and this is like it's not a great place to, you know, it doesn't really indicate you're in a good place in your life, but like, first of all, if you're a life coach, what qualifies you to become a life coach? Like, you just, like, you live to 30 and then you're like, okay, I can coach anybody 15 and under. Like, are there background checks for life coaches? I don't know. I don't care. I think that life coaches are dumb. I think the only thing that's worse than a life coach is a person that hires a life coach. Because if you're hiring a life coach, you are hanging on by a thread. Let's be realistic. I know that Braden has been through tough times in the past, and I don't judge him for it, but he was probably this close to hiring a life coach.
Oh my gosh.
I got mine for free. It's called a sponsor.
Okay, well, there you go. But yeah, I feel like if you're at the point where you're like, I'm either gonna kill myself or hire a life coach, killing yourself is probably the better option. So when I mentioned that 75% of suicides are males, I should also add that 50% of those men had life coaches. And I really thought that would get a better laugh. Anyway, how much time do I have left?
A minute and a half.
Yeah, that was my big closer, but I'm not, now it's not. You know what? I'm gonna count this as a win because when I got up here, there were 5 people in the live chat, but now there's 6. So,
shit!
that's what they call star power where I come from.
Yeah, don't tip.
I'm gonna show my wife this video. Now it's back to 5. Crap. 4.
3. Oh.
Okay, 5. I'm gonna show my wife this video after because I feel like I look better in the video than I do in real life.
Super tan.
Yeah, so guys, I don't know if you can tell, I got some new shoes. I mean, they're not new to me. They're not brand new, they're new to me.
Yeah.
Pre-owned, if you will. I got them at this really cool shoe sharing service, like the old take a penny, leave a penny thing. I got them at the gym.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, it's great. You just show up, they have a wide assortment of shoes, you just have to find your size. I'm a little bit insulted though because the shoes I left there 6 months ago are still there. And I don't know why. And you know what? This joke does go a lot better when I'm actually wearing shoes. So, on that, my name's Joel Timms. Thank you.
Joel Timms! You guys. 4 people now. That's star power. God. Yeah, but you know what? Joel Timms is the type of person, you let him take his shoes off in your house, you know, because I feel like I respect you. Yes.
Especially after that joke.
Yeah, especially after all that women being safe at night stuff. That is great. You know, speakeasy. Try it out. Try and unite multiple camps of thought and make them go. So, yeah, man, I sometimes wonder if I was molested as a child and it was so terrible that I just don't remember. That's all I got for that. Clone, dick on the outside. Yeah, so if you feel like, ladies, men have their dicks on the outside. Whatever happened to the dick punch, you know? Just hit it. It's like it's a target in the center of their hips. Just grab it. And then they won't try to rape you. Okay, so because their dick will hurt too much. Unless that's their kink. Oh man. Alright. Just moving on. When I was living in Toronto before I moved out west, I was having a lot of problems. And I totally hired a life coach, I did. I was hanging on by a thread. But now I'm here, I live out west, and it's more my pace out here, you know? Things move a little bit slower, and yeah, I got better, you know? So I didn't kill myself, and I'm not a guy. Anyways, so that's Mr. Joel Timms. Thank you so much for being on the show, Joel. He's the only dad in the room. Happy Father's Day. And thank you so much for sharing your ways with us. We're going to move right along to your next comedian. His name is Mr. Braden Leahy. Bring him up.
Braden! Oh, it's to me! Hello?
Hi.
Hi. I legitimately forget what my voice sounds like. So, elephant in the room, we look alike and it's weird. It weirded me out. We are both very, white, blue-eyed, nice hair, kind of polka dotted shirt. But I look like if someone gave you 1,000 cigarettes. I'm the after picture. Because I think that's kind of what happened. If you're my clone, don't do what I did, man. Nicotine sucks. It's the best, but it sucks. Also, I don't know, I've been through some hard times, you know, I wasn't gonna get a life coach. I tried to kill myself twice, failed both times. I needed a death coach, man. Yeah, I sucked at suicide. Yeah, I was the slow kind. I'm do cocaine until maybe I get a heart attack kind of guy. I was. I got sober. I got a sponsor, which is kind of a life coach, but you get for free because you wasted your money on drugs. I almost got hit by a handy bus the other day. Me and my buddy were driving down Deerfoot. We're driving, and a handy bus does not signal, comes into our lane. We're like, oh, jeez. We stop. It goes into the next lane, and then comes back without signaling. I'm like, that's crazy. We almost got hit by a handy bus. Wait. You don't think the driver is also... Nah. I need new glasses because my vision sucks and that's how glasses work, but I kind of don't want to get glasses because good-looking people don't intimidate me and ugly people don't scare me, and I want to keep it that way. Everybody is a 5 to me, and I want to keep it that way. I believe in equality. I don't want to degrade anybody based on looks. I appreciate what's on the inside, which apparently is meat, which... God damn, dude. Unsolicited meat. That's like a fuckboy meets a serial killer kind of behavior. So it was Father's Day recently, smack dab in the middle of Pride Month, which is awesome. We should name it Daddy's Day. While I'm on that topic, I hate that that's a kink. I'm sex positive, do what you want to do, but saying daddy during sex is fucking weird, okay? That happened to me one time, halfway through. She's like, give it to me, daddy. Either that is a kink and that needs to stop, or it's the worst way to tell me you're pregnant. Don't say daddy, say master like normal people. Fucking creeps. Yeah, let's talk about parents. I wasn't an accident. My parents fucked on purpose.
Congrats.
It's Father's Day and I got to talk to my dad. Like, I haven't been close with my dad my whole life, and it's kind of cool being able to connect with him because we didn't really have that much in common. The most we had in common was my mom's pussy, so, you know, that's kind of... Oh, I'm sorry, you don't like that joke? You don't like imagining your dad splatter painting your first apartment? No? One bedroom apartment. Ooh, that was a bad pun. Ooh. Speaking of vagina, I eat pussy. Yes, that's the worst segue of all time. It's like if you're a straight dude and you don't, shame on you. Fucking get your shit together, because dick is overrated. There's not a huge market for dick. Like, I feel like dick is a bit like Bitcoin. I have a lot of guy friends telling me, dude, it's so valuable. Is it though? Is it really? No, learn how to use your mouth and you'll be fine, man. But I found out the hard way that I have to plan it a little better, because I've been doing Zoom comedy shows, and my girlfriend came over and she was on her period all week, and it was finally, she was off it. I'm like, all right, go time. And so, you know, we were doing it. I was going down on her, and I realized that the Zoom show was about to start. I'm like, oh shit, I need to get on Zoom right now. The show's starting. Mm-hmm. I run onto Zoom, and this is where I realized maybe her math was a little off. Oh, no. It was not the last day of her period. It was very much still going. I looked like I went down on a bucket of crushed raspberries. Okay. And nobody told me, because I was too far away from the camera to see myself, and it was funnier than any joke I had planned that night. A real man goes down any time of the month, is all I'm saying. Like, the best advice I can give to straight dudes is make love like a lesbian. Because you never hear a lesbian complain about not coming. That never happens. Lesbians come because they know how that shit works. So, like, it reminds me, like, I have this buddy who, he was dating this girl, and they hadn't had sex yet. And she was coming over, and it was going to happen. And he was excited, but kind of nervous. And he's like, but you know what? I'm kind of okay. Like, I'm actually pretty confident. I'm like, that's great, buddy. Why is that? He's like, well, she's only had one other relationship. And she was married to a woman for 8 years. They recently got divorced. I'm her first male relationship. So, like, even if I'm terrible, I just started laughing. I'm like, dude, you are fucked. It's like, why? I'm like, why? For 8 years, this woman has been getting fucking pounded by a strap-on of God knows how big of a size, never goes limp, never comes too early, it doesn't have all the bullshit of a dude attached to it, and it's wielded by someone who knows exactly how a vagina works. You have no chance they broke up within a week. Oh, he hates that I'm right. I feel like foot fetishists can get away with being creeps easier than regular creeps. Like, if a regular creep is, like, staring at a woman's chest, there's no way out of that. It was like, what are you looking at? Oh, I was looking anywhere else. Foot fetishists, nah. They can get away with that shit. They just go, hey, what are you looking at? Nice sandals. Why is your dick hard? Really nice sandals. I also feel like there's a lot of foot fetishists in Iran, because that's kind of all they got. It's like, show me that ankle cleavage. Cankles. I love making fun of people in places that I've never been. I'm a citizen of the world. I love like 98% of Christians, but it's hilarious seeing like super conservative Christians complain about Middle Eastern immigrants coming into the country when they don't speak the language, when they're quoting a book about a Middle Eastern immigrant who doesn't speak English. That's always funny to me. Some dead silence on that one. Moving on. Two groups of people I will never make fun of are the Jews and Scientologists, because I want a career in Hollywood and I don't want to fuck that up. I feel like I just did.
Nobody watches this show, Braden.
Nobody does. We're good. My God, I am red. So I was hanging out with my mom recently, brought my girlfriend over, and I remember when they first met, my mom did the thing that all moms do. She showed her the baby pictures, and it pissed me off. I really don't like it when my mom does that. Like, Mom, can you stop? She's like, why? They're so cute. I'm like, yeah, but can you stop showing the bath ones? Why? Because can you not show the new girl that I like pictures of my dick when it was at its smallest? Can we not do that? I was a baby. Cut me some slack. No, like I said, I I am sober. I was visiting my mom, and she said, "Ooh, we have non-alcoholic ginger ale in the fridge." That's called ginger ale, Mom. What's the brand? Canada Dry Drunk? Oh, that's always fun. Anyways, it's nice reconnecting with my dad. I found out something weird about him. My dad is weirdly racist. Not in like the grrr way, but in like the weird way. Like we were having dinner and it was a big family get together, and he's like, your Auntie Pam is dating a Nigerian fella, and which I have no problem with.
Okay.
You sure, Dad? I think you might have a problem with it. People who don't have problems with things tend to not have to say they don't. It's like if I'm ordering a pizza, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna get a meat lovers. We're gonna get pepperoni and some sausage. A friend goes, ooh, can we maybe get like a sausage pizza and a pepperoni pizza? Like, I like them both equally. I just like to keep them separate, separate but equal. That's how I like to keep my meats. There's always a little bit of awkward in that one. One of my favorite memories of me and my mom is, do you guys know what vasovagal is? So having a vasovagal response is when you see blood or get a needle and you just pass out of nowhere. My mom has vasovagal, and I've been making fun of her constantly for years. I call her a hazy bagel whenever she would pass out. She sees a little bit of blood. I'm like, oh, what's the matter, you hazy bagel? Fallen and can't get up? I'm a great son.
Yeah.
And then like one day, I was hanging out with my girlfriend. We were watching a movie, and I can't remember exactly what was on screen, but I just felt like a radiating numbness go up my right arm, and I blacked out for like 2 minutes straight. I was out like a light. I woke up to my girlfriend panicking, trying to like get me into the car. Gets me into the car, takes me to the hospital. I'm still kind of coming to. My mom comes to the hospital with me, and I don't usually think that I'm not okay. I'm a ignore it, save it for later kind of guy, or save it for never. That was kind of the first time I'm like, one of the symptoms of a brain tumor is you get numbness up your arm and then you pass out. I might have to wrestle with the fact that I'm not okay for the first time in my life. My mom's sitting with me, she's super nervous. My girlfriend's in the room, super nervous. And we're waiting for the doctor, and the doctor finally comes in. He's like, Mr. Leahy, I'm Dr. Yee, and I have your results. And he pauses for like 10 seconds, like a dick. Mm-hmm. And then he just says, Braden, do you know what a vasovagal response is? And before he can finish that fucking sentence, you know the Grinch and how he stole Christmas when he gets that awful idea and that smile goes halfway across his head? I see that smile developing on my mom's face, and before the doctor can say anything, I look at my mom and I go, shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! Shut your fucking mouth, don't fucking say a fucking word, shut your fucking face! Shut up! And the doctor is looking horrified, because I start saying it to my girlfriend too, and you shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! The doctor has no idea that this is completely normal with my family. Yeah, we just casually, domestically abuse each other from time to time. But now vasovagal is a serious issue, guys, and don't make fun of it. All right, that's it. I got it.
Oh my god, yes. Yell in my face to shut the fuck up. Yes, Daddy, more. Okay. Happy Father's Day, Joel Timms. Wow. So there's 6 people still watching all the bourbon. Best first date ever. It's a long story. Awesome, you guys. Okay, so what'd you talk about? Handy bus. Okay, listen. So Alberta's like one of the only provinces where you can just name things a slur to people and it's okay. So we have Handy Bus. We also have a pizza restaurant called WAP without papers. Yeah, not the cool wet-ass pussy one, but like, you came here on a boat. You don't know where your parents are. Ha pizza. So Alberta, there's less laws here. You can drive faster. Okay, so eating pussy, don't knock it till you try it. Listen. Just follow that advice. I might go back to girls. I think so. There's nothing like scoring with a lady to just, it ups your confidence, Like, I just scored with a lady. Yeah. It makes you feel good because they care about the little things, the nuances, like their civil rights and stuff. There's better people. I don't know. I think maybe I'll just go back to ladies. Eat pussy, you guys. Braden Leahy. One more time, give it up for him. Woo! He eats pussy and he likes to party by doing that. So, you guys, we're just going to move it right along. We are going to bring up your headliner. High paid, high priced. She looks like... she looks
Thank you.
So sexy tonight. And I'm so happy to have her. She was on the podcast last week. You guys check it out. The Speakeasy Comedy Podcast with Macey Taylor. Warm welcome. Bring her up.
Woo!
Woo! Macey Taylor! God, you're beautiful.
Hey everybody, when I got dressed tonight, I was like, yeah, I would like to be victimized. Let's get this fucking going. I'm in downtown Calgary. A kidnapping could happen, you know, keep it a little spicy. Thank you so much, Tara, for calling me a prostitute. That's about right. It's pretty close. I would like to get paid for this service, so please hit up her Patreon if you can. Understand me between my fucking stuttering. Yeah. So... I know, like, if you know my comedy, and maybe if you don't, I tend to talk about sex a lot, but, like, I'm like, surprisingly uptight in the bedroom department. Like, I'm bisexual, I'm non-monogamous, I'm down for anything, vag, butthole, mouth, ear, you know, I'm a real prude. Thank you so much. I'm Macey Taylor, have a good night. I thought that was going to be a lot funnier than it actually was. I'm going through a time in my life where I am, like, non-monogamous. I'm just, like, living la vida loca out here, and it's great. Like, I'm very upfront with everybody. I don't lead anybody on. I say, you know, maybe one day I will want that Sunday kind of love, but right now I want a hot girl summer. So I consider it the thirsty games, and may the odds be ever in your favor. And speaking of validation, I keep hearing things about how people are, like, always talking about how I'm enough and you're enough, just as the way you are. Are you? Are you really? I cannot stand that. Our anxieties are out of control, and I think we're trying to overcorrect the way that we would like to be treated ourselves by kind of, like, giving people too much, like, self-esteem, honestly. Like, some people just are not enough. They're not. They are not. Some people are not likable. Some people are not lovable. Some people are not hot. Some people are not nice, and it is absolutely okay. I can't stand that. And okay, so here's where, like, a lot of that comes up. Lately, with our whole territory of, like, women starting to rule the world again, and, like, girls are in power, I hear a lot of my girlfriends complain and be like, ugh, like, I just want to be able to wear whatever the fuck I want at work. And I'm like, that is incorrect. You should not be able to wear whatever the fuck you want at work. See, when you have a job, there is an expectation that you are going to be an ambassador of that business. And what that means is the way you dress represents that business's values. And I wish that we were all woke enough to smoke weed together and say, hey, it doesn't matter what you look like. You can wear whatever you want. You can wear a crop top to work, a bikini. You don't have to wear pants, just full Donald Ducking all day. But we're not there yet. And I think I've got a perfect example of the, like, complete opposite of that. And it's this. Imagine if you went to the doctor and you go in the room anticipating to get a physical. You take your clothes off, you put on your little gown, you sit on the examination table and you, like, wake your feet in the air because you're a child inside. And then who opens the door but a man in a full clown costume, makeup and everything. You would go from, I'm feeling okay today, to fucking shitting yourself real fast. Like, there's just some expectations that you should have for people, and one of those things is, like, how you dress at work. Thank you very much. I kind of fucked that up. That's a new bit. Let's see, who do we got in here? How many people? I can't tell. 7 now. Oh, that's right. Thank you. Thank you. It was the shaboobies, let's be real. That's what brings people in. I kind of fucked that joke up, but it's cool. And if you don't want to hear me talk about how you're not enough, you probably don't want to talk to me about bullshit like being non-judgmental. When I hear people say that they're not judgmental, it makes me want to fucking explode. Like, completely lose it. What are you saying, Macey? You're saying that I'm not enough? And you're gonna judge me? Yeah. I'm gonna judge the fucking shit out of you. I'm going to judge you with my whole pussy. Like, put all my effort into everything I have to determine what kind of a fucking person you are. And people get really offended when I say I am a judgmental person. Like, they want to throw me straight in jail. You can't have... You're a fucking asshole, Macey. And it's like, you know what? No. I'm not gonna go to the fucking penalty box because I say I'm judgmental. Everybody's judgmental. And if you think you're not judgmental, you're a liar. Straight up. Think about it this way. When you're driving your car, are you just gonna wildly turn in and out of the lanes? Or are you gonna maybe do a shoulder check just to see if anybody's there so that you don't crash your fucking car? And for all those TikToks that are like, why are you talking about judgment in driving? Here's why. What I'm trying to say is that judgment ensures your safety.
You're here. You're here.
Yes, very much so. And I had to learn this the fucking hard way by being too nice sometimes. And by being too nice and not judgmental, I put myself in some really, really bad situations when I was younger. So, with this judgment thing, you know, like, oh fuck, where's I going with this? Give me 1 second, guys. Driving, judgment is very safe.
Keeps you safe.
Keeps you safe. Like, okay, yeah. The actual definition of judgment is just to come to a conclusion. Why is that mean? Why is that mean? It's not. If I was like walking in downtown Calgary with all these lovely rapists out, and sometimes everybody.
Happy Father's Day.
For those of you who couldn't hear, you just said Happy Father's Day. Yeah. And to you, sir. I'm out walking downtown alone at night, and I see a dude dressed in all black, wearing a balaclava, sprinting towards me. I'm not going to be like, he seems nice. I shouldn't judge him. I don't know what his life is like. Just like the Dr. Clown, you fucking shit yourself because you realize, oh, I'm about to be raped and murdered. This is going down right now. And, like, I have a lot of sexual proclivities, but rape and murder are not one of them, so I would feel just as fucking scared. Like, it's okay to say people aren't enough. It's okay to say people are kind of shitty. It's okay to have judgments.
You're here.
Hear, hear.
Speaking of things, woo.
My therapist really drove me up the wall recently, and I know it seems shocking that someone as well adjusted as I do has a therapist, but it's true. He did tell me the ultimate lie, which is, you know, no matter what, I won't judge you here. And I took that as my cue to psychologically torture him. I just looked him straight in the eyes and was like, what if I told you I like to rape children? Would you judge me? Or are you, oh, I'm not going to judge you. It's cool. It's cool that you told me that. This is a safe space. And the reason why I bring this up is because you fucking should absolutely judge people. Absolutely, please. I know I've been yammering on about this for like 7 minutes, but it is imperative for your fucking safety. Like, what if I was a child molester? Is he just not going to call the police? That's fucking stupid. I called him out on that shit. And I know when he says that and when other people say that, they're trying to emphasize, like, you know, if you have an emotion, you should feel safe enough to, like, say it out loud. And, again, I don't believe you. That's an absolute lie. You are enough. Lie. I'm not judgmental. Lie. I think you would have to be a bigger clown than I am to actually believe it. And at one point, I was the bigger clown. Like, I used to have a lot of pain in my life because of the fact that I was not judgmental enough. I was too nice. As strange as that sounds, you're like, this is, that must be a joke. No, I actually was way too nice at one point and let a lot of people into my life that shouldn't have. And it led to a lot of pain. So I'm going to tell you a little story about pain. So get ready to feel real good. So in 2019, I had the worst fucking year of my life. And what I'm about to explain is some events that happened in a 6-month period. And I know you think like, 6 months is a long time. But for as much that I'm about to tell you, 182 days is not enough. Not even a lifetime is enough. So, to begin, I was really in love with this guy who was kind of rough around the edges. And then one day, he pulls me aside at home to tell me, hey, just so you know, I'm having my first herpes outbreak. And by the way, since we're here, I also have HPV, but didn't want to tell you.
Oh God.
Yes. You know what? Get the fuck on this ride or get off right now. That's what I'm saying. You guys are looking at me like, you strap your butts in. If you, how many people are here? 6, yeah, that's right. 7, you left. Get out of here. You can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. That's what I'm saying. So, hold on to your asses right fucking now. Told me he had herpes and HPV, but didn't want to tell me, and I was like, it is what it is. I was trying to be non-judgmental, so I went and had, like, my shit tested out, and then I got a call, like, 2 days later. Uh-oh, that's not good. 2 days is not enough time for those results to come back, and the nurse was like, yeah, you have abnormal cells on your cervix, which means that fucking HPV was cancerous. Great. So, me and this guy had a horrible breakup, and then in 5 weeks, I moved twice.
Oh.
That's a lot to do. At this time, being the self-care queen that I am, I was doing tons of coke and drinking all the fucking time to cope with the harsh feelings that I was having from, perhaps having cervical cancer, losing this relationship that I love, and now also having herpes and being homeless essentially twice in 5 weeks. You guys look so uncomfortable, and I'm so pleased. So, how was I dealing with my addictions? I was legit trying to be healthy. I was going to an outpatient rehab facility that was put on by AHS. They put on a great program if you ever want to check it out. But it wasn't always perfect. At my lowest, I got super drunk and offered to show someone my tits for coke. Cool. I mean, let's be real. We all know they're fabulous. So I thought it was a fair trade at the time. And then I also got alcohol poisoning on a Wednesday. On a Wednesday. Like, when you hear about alcohol poisoning, you're usually like, oh, it was the craziest weekend in Las Vegas. And I was just like, after work? Okay, let's do this. Because of all of the drinking and drug use, I wasn't doing very good at work, believe it or not. I was underperforming, and due to all the mental health problems I was starting to have, I didn't realize that I was having a full-on actual post-traumatic stress disorder nervous breakdown. So my work made me go on a week-long vacation that they called a mandatory stress leave, and the last thing my boss said when I left was, maybe you should just do some yoga or something. Yeah, stretching out my hammies, that's what's really going to make me feel better after all of this. So I go back to work, I'm still being an astronomical fucking shithead, getting drunk, doing coke, but also trying not to do the same thing. I turned 27, I figure I should have one last hurrah. I got so fucked up on MDMA on my 27th birthday, I could not sit up straight in public. This is like the level of drug use that I was using to cope with everything that was happening. I was sober for a few weeks because I had surgery coming up to try to fix the fucking precancerous HPV. So I had my surgery. It was a success. The next day, I'm walking to work, and I'm crossing the street, and boom, got fucking hit by a car.
Oh my God.
Yeah. This isn't even the punchline. Like, we're not even done. So then I'm like, it was bad, but like I was okay. I like was able to walk and like be a full person. None of my body parts were all attached. I was like, okay, cool. I'm on my way to work because I'm on a performance improvement plan and I want to be a super employee. And then the second I got to work, I got fired.
Oh God.
Yep. So then I got home, and this is where the story ends. I did legit try to kill myself, but when I did that, the beam broke. And let me tell you, if there's one thing that will make you want to die, it's a failed suicide attempt. So, after that feel-good story for the ages, I was laying there on the floor after my failed suicide attempt, and a failed suicide attempt is really like a long, hard day of work. Like, you got no fucking piss and vinegar left in you after that. And I was thinking about how, like, if I went to the afterlife, if I was on hell's doorstep, trying to explain to the devil, like, okay, like, this is, like, why I want to die, here's my list of grievances over the last 6 months, and, like, I feel like I'm really done. I seriously feel like, at that moment that I hung myself, she, like, looked over my resume, and looked down her glasses, and you know the devil's a fucking woman. You absolutely know it, she's a bitchy-ass librarian. She looks at me down her glasses and goes, so, you want to die? Well, I would love that, but maybe you should work on things like crossing the street and holding down a job first. Just a couple little things like that? Ha! What? You're ready for the afterlife? No, you're not good enough, and I'm the judge of that.
I bow to you.
Oh my god. I have never been more turned on in my entire life. I have never wanted HPV and herpes more than after that story. Do you ever just wish you were someone because their story is so extraordinary? You're a superhero. Honestly, dude.
I'm built different.
Built different. Built different, you know? Guys, that's the show. One more round of applause for Macey Taylor. Wow, that was amazing, you guys. Thank you so much. So let's see who joined here. We got All the Bourbon, Captain Picard, Josh, Robert De Niro, just kidding, Robert J. Barral, J.D. Lassard, Andy Allen, Beer Baron, Dane, Mitchin Ho, Sarah Lyon, YYC Combs, Crooked Cut, Matteo Bermunt, Joe Dresser, Sandals joined, my mom watched, oh no! I'm working on it, Mom. Please don't be mad. God, you're perfect in every way. You know this. Joe Dresser asked to be in the video. Joe, that's not how this works. We go through this every month. Tyrell. My mom left and came back. Wonder why? Stats in the Wild. Yeah, you guys. So that's the show. Thank you guys so much for watching the show. If you feel like I should be paying these wonderful individuals for being in my living room today and for entertaining you, because I was incredibly entertained tonight. Please donate generously to the GoFundMe. Check out the Speakeasy podcast, which is posted on YouTube. Full episodes are there. Snippets are going to be on Instagram on my page. Fishbowl Comedy is coming every Wednesday in August at 7:30 p.m. That's the open mic I'm going to be running. So if you've never done comedy before and you want to start doing it, or if you're just out there and you're itching to get back on stage, baby, we're starting every Wednesday in August at Koi, and the first show is going to be on July 22nd, which is a Thursday, but we got to start somewhere. So thank you guys so much for joining live. Thank you guys so much for being here. Clippity clap clap clap. HPV and herpes could be you. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining. We'll see you next time. All right. All right. End the